I'm Carly. Welcome back to Farmer Analytics. Today we're setting up a chicken brooder box, and this can be used for any kind of chicken, whether it's layers, broilers, or even other poultry, for example, ducks, geese, poultry. So what we have here is probably a 4x4 foot brooder that stands maybe 2 feet tall, and we usually actually put a tarp on the bottom of this, but the mice chewed through the tarp that we had. So we're improvising, and we did a pad of hay. And this is just simply to be able to easily remove all the bedding after we're done with the brooder, so that we can easily just stick a pitchfork under this and get it out of here. The tarp is easy enough too, because you just drag it out and everything comes with it. So we have our shavings that we're gonna put over top these once the chickens come. The chickens should be here either tomorrow or the next day, and we'll probably put that down fresh right when they get here. And then we also have our water for the chickens. This is simple. We just put the water in the top. You always want to put this cover over the bottom here when you fill it. Screw this on and then put it back up here and it will fill. And these like to sit nice and flat and level so that the water doesn't spill over the sides. And then we have our feeder that we're going to fill with chicken grain once they get here. And this middle piece is just so they don't sit in it all day and poop in it. This kind of spins around to encourage them to get off of it. And then most importantly, we have our heat lamp. Now this is super important for chicks to stay the right temperature, especially when they're very little, like a day old. All the way up until even 3 weeks old, depending on the temperature and how many feathers that they put on. So we actually start this pretty low, and as we pay attention to how they're acting, if they're moving away from the heat lamp or if they're huddling under it, that tells us whether or not they need less or more heat. They're pretty smart at what they need, and as long as we're observing, it's really easy to tell what they need and don't need. Okay, so I think we are prepared for chicks if their arrival is actually tomorrow. We're ready to rock, and we're excited to start our first batch of 2025 meat birds. We just got the call that our chicks are ready to be picked up, so I am on my way there. We are going to pick up our chicks as well as about half of the grain that we ordered to feed the chicks throughout the summer. And I don't have a truck right now, so I will be squeezing as many bags of grain into this Kia Sorento as I can fit. I think technically I can't put more than 25 bags in here for the weight load that this car can handle, so I will shoot for somewhere between 20 and 25. So we're in town. We just got all of our chicks. We have 70 broiler Cornish Cross chicks, and I'm sure you can hear them right now. They're all snugged in here. And we also fit 20 bags of our organic broiler grower crumble. And we ordered a full pallet. It's what we do every year, which is 40 bags or 2,000 pounds of this organic grower crumble. And we go through it every year. If we don't end up using it all, we just basically feed it to our layer hens, and they love it. And for right now, this is as many as I can fit. We fit 20 in here today, so I'll come back for the other half of it, probably tomorrow, and that way we'll have all of our feed for the entire season. We are also doing another round of about 35 chicks after this round. So once all of these guys are processed, about a week later, we have another round that will come in, and we'll start all over again with round 2. But for now, let's get these guys home. I have shut the air conditioning off in here. We want to keep them nice and warm, and we'll get them home and put them in their brooder. We primarily raise meat birds for our family's own consumption and always sell a small portion of the birds we raise to help cover the cost of chicks and feed. When we first get the chicks, we give them fresh bedding, plenty of free choice grain, fresh water. I always add a splash of apple cider vinegar in the water, and we watch them to see how they're behaving and basically keep up with what they need. This group in particular seemed very thirsty when we let them out of their shipper. They were climbing into the water and mostly only interested in drinking. Some people swear by dipping their beaks in the water. We actually don't do this and find that they have no problem finding water. Once they see one chick doing it, they kind of all figure it out pretty quickly. I don't find it necessary, but again, if it works for you, stick with what works for you.
One out.
Yep. By that evening, the chicks were huddled pretty tight under the one heat lamp we had up. So we added a second heat lamp in the other corner, and this provided plenty of heat lamp space for all of them to stay comfortable. During the day, when it gets much warmer, it's in the 70s and even the 80s most days here right now. And so we're shutting off one of those heat lamps during the day so that they have more space to get out of the heat. And over the next 2 to 3 weeks, the goal is to get them all acclimated. And by doing this, they will put on feathers and be ready to go outside without any supplemental heat by at least 2 to 3 weeks old. Here you can see their feathers already starting to come in on the tip of their wings. And this feather development is what we want to see, especially over the next few weeks when we're trying to get them ready to go outside and leave the brooder. So we raise our meat chickens for the first 2 to 3 weeks in a brooder. And then after that, they go out on the pastures and are raised in chicken tractors. And a chicken tractor is basically a mobile shelter that we move 1 or 2 times a day onto fresh grass so that the chickens can forage and scratch and eat all the bugs and grass that they want. This in no way replaces the grain that they need to grow and gain weight, but it provides them with enrichment, snacks, and fresh pasture. So moving them daily also keeps them eating on clean grass, which reduces any risk of parasite issues and just keeps them really, really happy. And I will share more on our mobile chicken tractors in a few weeks when they go out on pasture. Aside from the basics, a few additional things we watch for in our chicks is manure buildup on their back end. Always make sure to clean this off if you see it. And the cleanup is as simple as some warm water and a paper towel. Another thing we keep in mind when raising chicks is the 1/3 rule. Now, if the brooder is too hot, chicks will move away from the heat source and may be lethargic or panting. If the brooder is too cold, the chicks will huddle together directly under the heat source. If the temperature is just right, chicks will spread out comfortably and explore, they'll look alert and engaged, and we look for a general visual of 1/3 of them comfortably resting, 1/3 of them at the waterer, and 1/3 of them at the feeder. This will vary depending on what time of day it is, but it's a good visual to tell you that everyone has enough feed, water, and is just the right temperature. As always, make sure there is good ventilation, clean bedding, and take lots of time to just observe them. Watching your animal's behavior is your best tool. They can tell you a lot if you just keep an eye on them. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you next time.